Specifically, they alleged that the government, through the operation and design of the Addicks and Barker reservoirs, engaged in a taking, and that they are entitled to just compensation. So, what is a taking and what is a flowage easement? Well, okay, under the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, the government can take private property for a public purpose, but when they do that, they have to pay just compensation to the property owners. And in this form, the taking by the government was in the form of a flowage easement. A flowage easement is a right of the government to flood your property. Specifically, you give the government the right to flood your property. And so because of that, the property owners wanted to be compensated, and they're justified for that. So as I mentioned, the lawsuits began in 2017, and the trial court selected 13 test cases. And in 2019, the trial court cited, they ruled in favor of these 13 property owners. And then subsequently, 3 years later, they awarded money damages to the property owners. And so when that happened, it kind of greenlit all the other eligible property owners to begin filing suit. But as noted, the deadline for filing suit, if you're an upstream property owner who qualifies, is August 28th, 2023. And so following the ruling in favor of the property owners, the government appealed that decision. And right now it's in the Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, and it's pending there. The government has gone ahead and they filed their opening brief, and they've asserted various arguments in the brief. One is that this taking was not a permanent taking, it's just a temporary trespass, so they shouldn't be liable for it. Secondly, they're arguing that they didn't cause this flooding in the upstream areas, it was the storm. The storm was so catastrophic, once in a 500-year event, that they should not be liable for that. They've asserted various other arguments that they're not liable. That one is the police powers. They have police powers to protect public safety, and when they engage in the police powers in good faith, they should not be held liable. So, and then they've argued that consequential damages, they should not be liable. Even if they're found to be liable, they shouldn't have to pay for consequential damages, because they're arguing that fair market value is the traditional standard. So the opening brief was filed by the government in June, and now the response brief is due in September by the property owners.